She said she thought about me every day. For 43 years, she didn't forget me.
It's your baby. You haven't seen your baby in 43 years.
I've never seen my baby.
What do you reckon your first words are going to be?
G'day.
Oh, that cheeky shot at the top.
That's me.
That's you.
I'm cute.
You are cute.
Her name is Jill Rayner. Together with big sister Lynn, they grew up in Sydney's west.
Look at Dad.
He's so happy.
Dad Bruce was a sales manager, Shirley a stay-at-home mum.
Here's us in our matching outfits again.
Oh, God, yes.
You say you had a wonderful childhood.
They gave me everything, but they gave me love.
But in the summer of 1980, Jill Rayner's life was turned upside down. She was 9, Lynn was 16, and they were on holiday.
What are you reading?
Just a book.
What is it?
I was a bit of a wild 16-year-old. And Jill was always a good girl. And I remember reading a book and it had a swear word in it, shit.
Listen to this. Those movies showing women screaming in labour are plain bullshit.
You can't say that. I'm going to go tell Mum and Dad.
I don't know why you're so upset, because they aren't your real parents anyway.
She goes, they're not your real parents anyway. That took a lot, I didn't take that in too well. And then, Dad explained, you were born in our heart. He said you were born into our heart. I never told anyone this. I remember the next day, sitting under a bed in another room, thinking about it on my own and wondering who this other person was.
How difficult was it after carrying this child for 9 months to not even be allowed to see her?
Very hard. Very hard.
Well, Ginger, there you are. Pepper, come on.
And this is Candace. Candy, as she likes to be called, was born in California, but has spent much of her life in the small Texan town of Sulphur Springs. She's 58 now, but when she was 12, her father Thomas and mother Ramona moved Candy and her 3 brothers to Australia.
When you first got to Australia, did you like it?
I loved it. I loved it.
It was 1968. Candy's father was a successful insurance broker and the family settled on Sydney's lower North Shore. But Candy was a handful, a rebellious free spirit. 2 years after arriving here, she went to a party where she met a young bloke.
He was 16 at the time, and here I was 14, and we just fell in together, and spent the rest of the night together.
What was the reaction of the baby's father when he found out you were pregnant?
He didn't. He probably doesn't know he has a daughter. I never saw him again.
Pregnant and scared, Candy ran away to Brisbane. A week later, her mother tracked her down.
She'd already called the police, so we flew back down from Brisbane to Sydney, and at the airport, I was escorted from the airport right on through to the jails.
Candy was made a ward of the state. She wanted to keep her child, but was never given the choice.
My mom said, she's pregnant, of course, but she's going to give it up. And she made that decision herself. And I never did.
On the 22nd of February 1971, at 8:01 in the evening, Candy gave birth to a baby girl. She was going to name her Ramona, but her baby was taken from her immediately.
They wouldn't let me hold her. They wouldn't let me do anything.
3 months later, Candy's mother and father took her and her brothers back to California. She never returned to Australia.
Well, look at this one. This is outside the hospital. We just brought you out, ready to take you home. How proud we were looking at you, Mum and I. With Jill, I always thought to myself, there was something missing. And what it was her mother.
Lynn was also adopted. She's since found her biological mum, and it was her search that set Jill on the same path. It was 1993, and the first thing she did was to get a copy of her birth certificate, revealing her birth mother was a young woman called Candace.
What it gave me was her name and where she was born.
But at that point, Jill stopped searching.
I think she didn't want to do anything while Mum and Dad were alive. She felt she might have been betraying them, possibly.
This is where the sisters grew up.
Yeah, we both do.
In 2007, their adoptive father Bruce died. Last June, Shirley, their mum, passed away. Only then did they feel the time was right to resume searching for Candy. They knew she was from America and her maiden name was Timberlake. So late last year, Lynn logged on to Ancestry.com.
We put a name in and it popped all up in about 1 minute.
When Candace married, she took on her husband's surname, Nolan. But searching on Facebook, Jill and Lynn were confronted with dozens of Candace Nolans. Painstakingly, they went through every profile until one day, one jumped out.
This lady put down that she went to St Ives School, New South Wales. And you knew it was her. You knew it was her. I remember seeing that photo for the first time.
Is that the only photo you've seen?
Yep.
Well, we've got something for you. Jill, here's your mum.
Jill and Lynn now had Candy's Facebook page and knew what she looked like. So now, big sister Lynn wrote to her. It was December last year and she got no response. January and February came and went and still nothing. Turns out Candy rarely uses the computer. But then...
On the 13th of March, we'll always remember that date, was an inbox message from Candy. Lynn, this is Candace. Please tell your friend that if it is someone born on February 22nd, 1971 at 8:01 p.m. in Sydney, she has been in my mind and heart every day for the last 42 years and awaits contact ASAP. So it was really emotional. I just thought, oh my God, she's here. She's here. I read the message to Jill and Jill immediately rang her and the rest is history, isn't it really?
After 4 decades, this daughter and her mum were to say their first words to each other.
Hi, Candace. This is Jill, Rayner. I was born on the 22nd of the 2nd, 1971. I am your daughter.
And I was real quiet and crying by then.
She was howling, crying, please, it was never my decision. I've thought about you every day, please. And that's what broke me at the time. She never forgot me.
This is your daughter.
She has the Timberlake eyes. She's got my mom's mouth.
A year after she returned to America, Candy had a miscarriage and was never able to have another child. In the years that followed, she would be unlucky in love, marrying twice, divorcing once, widowed once. She lives alone on a small pension. Jill grew up, came out, and found success in business and happiness in love. 20 years ago, she met Sharon. They now live in Hervey Bay, where Jill manages a motorbike shop.
Yep, we're finally on our way.
Yep. Goodbye, Hervey Bay. Look out, Texas.
Here we come.
2.5 weeks after mother and daughter first spoke, Jill and Sharon left home for the long journey to Sulphur Springs, Texas. In 24 hours, 43 years will melt away.
Tomorrow I am going to meet my 43-year-old daughter for the first time ever.
That is amazing.
How much is that going to mean to you?
I just want to hug her, hold her. She had said something to me she wanted to do, and that was to put her head in my lap and just go to sleep. And I just picture myself stroking her hair. I don't know if that's strange being so old.
Candy had suggested a park nearby, her favourite place in Sulphur Springs. And then, there she was.
That's your mum. Good luck, Jill. Thank you.
I wanted to run right into her arms and just hang on for dear life, afraid that I might never get the chance again.
43 years. And I get told. You are truly beautiful. I can't help but cry. I don't want anybody to ever take you out of my life again.
Not again. Not again.
Okay.
Feels so right. After 43 years waiting, which I thought would never come, when I put my arms around her for the first time. It took away years.
And for this loving daughter, there was just one more thing to do.
I have kept something that you don't know about. 1993, I applied for my birth certificate with your name on it. Candace Althea Timblake. This was always meant to be rightly yours. That is rightly yours. That is rightly yours.